Good morning. Hi.
Greetings.
Okay, so early morning, still trying to wake up, drinking coffee. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so today we're going to be trying to make ourselves that transport ship. At least that's the plan. Okay, here we are. What? Okay, I was inside the block for some reason. Okay, I just need to make sure I have enough space for this thing. I'm also going to try possibly a different way of designing my ship here. Because for the most part, I have to figure out how to be able to design my ship in such a fashion to where I will have plenty of space, enough room to grow, but also so that it's not, because I'm really only gonna get one chance to build this thing. Okay, so how wide is this gonna have to be? I'm gonna make sure I can. Symmetry. Connect not available. Yeah, I'm able to connect that way. XY, symmetry plane. Z. Oh. No symmetry. Okay. Hopefully they fix that. What I'm gonna do first is block out the width, the length, and the height of this thing. And give myself an idea of how big I want this to be. Also getting rid of the regular steel blocks around this thing. Okay, so I probably want this thing to be long. And I have an image in my head of what I want. How tall do I want it to be? Because this thing is going to have a hanger in front. So 2, 3, 4. I know I'm like 1 block tall. I need this thing to be large enough to accept. And there's gotta be enough room beneath this thing. Only like for 2 blocks down. That's what we'll do. 2 blocks down. I want enough space beneath this thing to allow me to, you know, get underneath it and be able to do repairs if needed, stuff like that. Maybe have a couple of turrets or two on the bottom of it so that when I'm landing I can defend myself. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Yeah. Okay. Take a moment and eat something here. Okay. No berries. Grain. Vegetables. No fruit. Still no updates yet, so the farm is gonna, the 0G farm is gonna have to remain that way for a while. Okay, drop you. Great. Woo. A little bit of first aid. So right now our base has got all the basics we need. I'm also thinking, I thought about it, and I'm thinking probably once we get this station to be the height it's going to be, so how long the central core is going to be, I'm thinking about hollowing out the center of it. So taking out all the floors and having this be one giant cylinder, well, giant, you know, core to, you know, make, you know, moving in between the floors very fast. And I'm also thinking about having like force fields along the center of it. But for the time being, this will just work. No, that kind of worked out. There we go. Turn you off. I'm leaving the vegetables in there so that they rot, so we have the ingredients needed to make up for any missing farm plots, or be able to make seeds, because we need the nutrient solution in order to do that. Okay, so let's see here. How are we gonna go about this? Okay. Now, there's two ways we could go about this. We could go side loading or front loading, because the engines will be in the back. Or what we can do is we can do like a front back loading, so that the center pretty much is a hangar that loads from the front and back. But I also have to think about how the hovercraft is going to dock, to attach to this ship. Do something like this, just to get us started, maybe. this is. Something like this. Damn. Hmm. No. This will be fine. Hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Thinking of something like this. You get the front of the ship here. Oh, not even close. Not even close to what I wanted. And we'll have a hangar door right here that will be angled. So you have like a slope that'll act like a hangar that opens up, and then I'll have another hangar door that comes up, and then you load onto it that way. Just wondering if that's going to be wide enough. Do not know. Gotta keep an eye on my oxygen. Don't run out. Not that. Or that. There we go. Just looking at my options here. Okay. Look at devices. Okay, we need ramps. Make 2 of them. Bring them on. And then a hangar door. Probably need 2 of them. Let's just make them as we need them. So we'll start with 1 hangar door. Every time we add more floor, add more stuff to the space station, we'll reorganize it. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Not like that. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so 3 by 1, 3 by 2 by 1. Ooh. Okay. Then there's like ramp down though. That, yeah, I have to have a ramp down too. Be able to get up into this thing. Is it low enough? Question. Oh. That might work. But we have to do something like that. Drop that there for now. Yeah, that'll work. The steep enough incline. We'll have to double up on that, but there, just to kind of have us something to look at here. And we do that. Yeah. Where does the door go? Okay. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Hey, Conway, how's it going? Things are going well. Trying to wake up. It's kind of how it goes. Oh, blocks in space? Going well. Currently, right now, I'm just trying to block out the hangar for this thing so we can pick up a mining hovercraft that we'll eventually have. But that's what I'm building right now, is I'm just building it. A means of picking up things from the surface. This thing is gonna be designed as a transport ship, so that we can increase the amount of resources we're able to gather. Because I do plan on returning to trying to build our space station even further. But we need to work on our the economics in our game. In order to increase our economics, we need to have ships in place that will allow us to increase what we can get. Yeah, I think that's big enough for the hangar. Now, let's see here. How are we going to do the... We need to have some sort of engines on the side. I think this is probably as far as the hangar bay is gonna go. Just kind of do this. Say this is how far the hangar is gonna be. Yeah, right here. Now, let's see here. I'm thinking probably front loading only. We could do rear loading also. Probably do front and rear loading. If that's the case, we'd have to bring it all the way out to here, and then we have to figure out how to put engines on this thing. But I also have to think about a landing pad for like a scout ship, because I do plan on having this thing be able to act as like a small small docking pad too. Yeah, just front loading. Let's just get something put together, front loading only. And then back here will be where the engines will be located. That'll work. But right now, I'm only lack of a better word. We're blocking out the design of what is going where. So we have to have a little engine room with the warp core and the engines on the back and all that kind of stuff. We also have to have a bridge, which will probably be located right up here. Then we'll have the pad for the SV that we'll put right here. Then we got the hangar for the HV. I'll be right here. I'm going about this a different way than I've designed in the past for capital ships, so our last capital ship we kind of just quickly threw together just to get all the parts on board. Okay, how are we gonna do this? I think probably something like this. I almost want to put like the engines on the side. Okay, do this. There's going to be a door and an elevator here. Up to the bridge. You don't need a bridge that's huge. Just need a bridge that's functional. Again, probably like kind of like a 3x3 area for the bridge. That might work. You know, like this. I also need to have a first aid, probably a small constructor somewhere on board. I'm kind of just deciding out floors here. You got the bridge up here, looking out at docking pad. Right here. Place the dock here. And I'm liking the idea of having the engines on the side a little bit. Block out the floor. Put the ramp in the front. Okay. Okay, let's go and get vital components put on board. Okay, so those are thrusters. We got a large generator. We're not going to be using those. We're probably going to put some ventilation on this thing, so probably going to need that. Okay, elevator blocks, because there's going to be an elevator shaft. What am I building? I am currently constructing the cargo ship. So the cargo ship that's going to load up the hovercraft that we currently have down on the surface. Don't need combat steel. Okay. Okay, I need... This thing needs to be warp capable. We need to build ourselves... We need a medical station. We need... ammo box for the guns that we'll have on board. At the repair station. Okay. We don't need armored doors yet. Let's here. Okay, we got our tier 1 large generator. We need some fuel tanks. Let's make 4 of them, just in case. Okay, we need an O2 tank. Get ourselves an O2 station. We got elevator blocks. We need storage eventually. Need a refrigerator. This is gonna be like a mini mobile base, essentially. That's literally what it's gonna be, for the most part. Okay, we need a couple of RCS. I'm gonna probably use the cheap ones for now. Let's see here. Mass is more. Torque 20 to 500. Okay, actually we might only need just one of those. Okay. To gravity generator or not to gravity generator? That is the question. It's like, do we want a gravity generator on this thing or not? Something I can turn off if we don't need it. But do we need it? That's the question. Because it requires a lot of power to run that thing. Okay, let's go and get the blueprints for the warp. Okay, flak gun, plasma turret, large thruster. Probably gonna need those on this thing. We got you. Does it have any real impact on the character? Not really. I mean, other than gravity? You know, other than, you know, gravity just allowing you to, like, run around like you're on the face of a planet. Miguel speed, no, no maneuverability. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my god. What have I done? Repair console, repair bay. Force field emitter. Plasma turret. We're just gonna do like let's see here. Railgun. Ooh. Rocket launcher homing. Ooh. Laser turrets. Okay. Exit out. But yeah, you know, gravity is just kind of like, you know, something that's in place for like convenience, I guess, for those who, you know, don't want anything, you know, allow you to feel like you're on the surface of a planet at all times. You know, for a lot of people, I can see like 0G being a little confusing. It's like, what is up, what is down, kind of like, you know. A repair station. We're also going to be using this thing. I'm armoring this thing up mostly because if we go POI hunting when we're out and about mining materials, I want this thing to be able to defend itself. I wouldn't bother with it unless they introduce some mechanic where the character needs gravity for health reason. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, right now, yeah, it just doesn't seem worth it in the large scheme of things. Okay, warp drive, and warp cell, which is a real problem for humans in 0G. Exactly, yeah. That's a real life problem that 0G has. Is like you have to be You have to, you know, we don't do well in space for long periods of time. Okay, I gotta figure out how to do cargo, but we'll do that one last. Have like a cargo bay of some sort. Once I get the outer part of it blocked out, then I'll start putting thrusters. Before I would put the thrusters where I think they belong, and then I'd add blocks around it. But this time, what I'll do is I'll create the outer part of the ship, and then put the thrusters in, you know, reasonable locations. But while that's working, I'm gonna get all that put in here. But this is the rough blocking out of it. I'm gonna have a hangar. This is gonna be a front-loading ship. So there's gonna be a hangar right here where the HV is gonna load up into. On the top is gonna be an SV docking port. So much like that thing right there. It's gonna be up on here, so I can have like a small scout ship on top of this thing. And then we'll have the bridge right here. Miscellaneous things like, I don't know, like healing, crafting, all that kind of stuff here. Like a medical block here. It has to be too high. Okay. Have to reassess that. That's the case. Few things high, huh? Do this instead, because I want to have first aid on this thing. We'll do this, and then you got a clone chamber just in case. Put it that way for now. Okay, so we got fuel tanks. We gotta put in here somewhere. Like put it like right here. Gotta put an engine. You know, put a generator somewhere on here. I'm probably thinking in the center here somewhere. That'll work. Still trying to figure out the rear end of this thing. Okay, you got the elevator blocks. Allow us to get around, well, designate a spot where, you know, movement in between the floors is located. I gotta get that block taken out. There we go. Okay. Still got 2 blocks of useful space on the bottom here. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this. Little tanks on both sides. Okay, we got an oxygen, which we'll probably put into the hangar. Because when we get back off of certain planets that don't have oxygen, we'll have an oxygen station waiting for us. Yeah. Large O2, right next to it. We're gonna have to figure out how we're going to go about a repair bay on here. We gotta figure out docking, like how to dock our HV onto this thing. Kind of built, it's gonna be built more like a submarine, really, where everything's kind of close together. It's not gonna be like our first capital ship where it was like very, very large and expansive. It's gonna be much more closer together. Well, ammo box, which we'll put is probably somewhere around here. In fact, I don't really need to get to the generator. We don't really need to get to the to all these components. They can be pretty close together. But I want to have the ability to get at least to certain places, like the ammo box here. Okay, where the heck are we gonna put you? This tier 2 RCS. Where? Probably put it right above there. Or there. Yeah, let's put it up there. Okay. The bridge is going to be somewhere up here. But like a traditional one. It's going to be somewhere up here. Put it like right next to the... right next to this so we can quickly get on board if we need to. That's what we'll do. So that when we come up the elevator, we can immediately turn and say, oh, I would like to pilot this thing now. Okay. We'll check on more of our parts here. We got some oxygen here. Okay, we got the repair bay. Wait, did I run out of parts in order to make the, yeah, repair console? Well, I'm gonna have to make that. Okay, so let's see here. We want to put one repair bay here. And then we'll put one right above it. Where the SV will end up. Excuse me. Oh, we can only have one at a time? Oh, that sucks. Okay. We only have one per capital ship. That being the case. That being the case, I'm going to put it up here because I feel like our SV is probably going to get the most amount of damage. Because our HV is going to spend most of its time, you know, mining, so. This is where the, well, the landing pad where the SV is going to be. Right in front of the bridge. That right there. Just gonna move some stuff around here so that all of our stuff, when we use the multi-tool to break it down, will not be somewhere at the top. It'll be down here. Okay. Okay. Warp tank, warp drive. Grab some more. There we go. Let's see here. Warp tank. Right there. There's the warp tank. Now warp drive. How am I gonna fit you in here? You're a biggin. Warp drive is pretty huge. Yeah, the rear end of the ship is probably going to be a lot longer. Probably how it's going to go. Yeah, we're probably going to have to do something like this. Oh, up please. There we go. Yeah, that's centered. Okay, so that's pretty much where it's gonna have to be. We're just gonna have to surround it by blocks. You know, to protect it. You don't necessarily need to get at it, because this thing's going to be surrounded by armored blocks, so... Oh shoot. One block too far. Of course. The one block we need. The one block we need happens to be... Okay. That's all the blocks that we have so far. Yeah, this thing is not as huge as our first capital ship, that's for sure, but... all the major components set out. The cockpit is kind of up on the top in a traditional spot, but it seemed... I was expecting it to be all the way in the back, but it's going to be a little bit in the center. So. Well, we need more blocks. We're going to finish this out. Come on, come on, there we go. Okay, let's see here. How many? Not many hardened plates. We do have a bunch of that, and iron ore. Start out with 80. Start with 80, and then go from there. Heavy window blocks. I might make the I might make the bridge have heavy window blocks. That way anything that shoots at the bridge will be sadly mistaken. We got regular steel blocks though. But once those have to be repaired. Another steel block for the grow bed. Drop one of these up with our other batteries here. Oh, there we go. Check our oxygen reserves here. There we go. We're gonna have to go, once we get down to the surface, we're gonna have to get oxygen. Because we should have like a ton saved up down there. Ah, holes. Yeah, I'm thinking once we make some rooms for all of these, you know, all the constructors and all that kind of stuff, we'll probably hollow out the central core here and make it just a giant room so we can get in between floors really quickly. That's what I'm thinking. We're kind of far off from that. We're way far off from that. So this. Enclosing our hangar here. Oh. Kind of putting those there as kind of like, you know, decorative, and it also act as a point to dock the HV to. Because from the looks of things, we're probably going to be going with the dock on the side option for an HV. Grab you, and I'm thinking probably to illustrate for ourselves, we'll do this. Turn on main power.
Performing now.
We'll dock this thing on board. Trying to give us a visual aid. Turn off main power.
Engaged.
There. Okay. That'll give us an idea of how big of a pad we might need. Because we need something that can maybe fit a defector onto it. Because I'm thinking our SVs are probably not going to be any bigger than that. Maybe slightly bigger, but I'm also designing this thing with the idea that we're probably going to have other ships and they're probably going to be bigger. I need enough room to land on this thing. Planning for the future. It was kind of pointless to make a ship like this and have it, you know, become obsolete, you know, really soon after you build it, because you came up with a design that it no longer has any use for. Okay. Now, let's see here. Finish enclosing this. Ah. Ran out of blocks again. Yeah, radiation, I get it. Well, good thing for us that we're going to be enclosing the entire thing. Okay, more blocks. 60 more, that should be fine. I'll drop you guys off here. Then once we have once we get this figured out, then we'll start figuring out, well, how are we going to dock this to the base? Because right now this thing is pretty huge, and the small little docking pads that we have set up just won't cut it. So we're gonna have to make ourselves something a little larger. Okay. Do I want... Here's another question. Do I need ventilation? Do I want ventilation? There's the question. There might be planets that we're going to encounter that maybe we want to have oxygen on this thing. Boop. Boop. Okay. I think we've enclosed all the vital components with hardened steel. Good. Okay. Now, I think we have all the important things currently indoors right here. So we got the engine bay that's completely covered. We got 2 blocks worth of space underneath, which we're going to be putting landing gear. I don't really mind if the landing gear is shorter than what we need, because, well, when it comes to the ramp, it can go into the earth. It doesn't have a collider on it. Well, when it's coming out, it doesn't have a collider, but... Yes, do this. Do something like this. This is purely going to be decorative, though. Oh, in front here. Almost like guiding pads of some sort. How far out is the question? Do I want to go? Maybe something like that. And then we'll put angled blocks that go up. Maybe. It's like, I won't know for sure until I put the engine on the thing, because I do plan on having like these giant blocks, well, these giant like nacelles on either side of this thing that are going to act as like engine holders for the, you know, thrusters to go left, right, up and down, all that. Let's see here. Can't make you. How much do I have? What I have is out. Chromium ore. Power coils? I probably don't have enough for the power coils. For the large thruster blocks. That might be a thing. Okay. We have small thruster blocks. Okay, we don't need those. We got those. Here, we have a fridge block, might as well have a food processor on this thing. In case we need food. Because I thought about it, it's like, do I need a large constructor? No, not really. Because we're only gonna be, you know, we're only gonna be moving. We're gonna be transporting materials, not turning materials into anything. Make more. Make more. I demand more. Okay, so we have fridge, we have food. Where's the radiation coming from? Hope that, let's see if this, okay, this is not located anywhere near where the radiation is. That's good. So how far till the radiation spikes? Out there. Out there. There, okay. Right there, where the radiation starts. Okay. So if we were to make this room bigger, that's what we have to work with. Yeah, they're probably gonna make it bigger. A little bit longer. Let's see here. I think I'm probably like this right here. The bridge. And close that. Let's see here. Don't need a bridge that's huge. A block on top of that and that to enclose it. Okay. That'll be the bridge. It's not gonna have much to look at, but we don't drive in first person, so that's not a big deal. Okay, so bridge there, got the hangar there. Okay. Back here probably could be like a turret. We could put a turret right there. Trying to think about this in terms of where I could put turrets, because we want the turrets to be located in such a place where they can easily, maneuver and shoot. Last thing we want to do is, have one side of the ship undefended, which we could just rotate the ship to fix that, but I think the central core of the ship is pretty much figured out. We just need to add bits and parts that are gonna make it look nice. Like, for instance, we want to make thruster bays on either side of this thing. These are blocks. Let's see here. Okay, so what can I do right here? Do something like this. Slope blocks. Put them here. For now. I kind of like the position of those. Do something like that. Because I'm thinking right here, putting the small turrets right here, the regular, rifle gun turrets on the front to defend the front, so that when I'm, landing somewhere and there's happen to be things in front of me, those turrets will take out whatever in front, so that my hovercraft can get off safely. Let's see here. Okay. Engine bay. Well, thrusters. Thrusters, thrusters, thrusters. Something like this. Oh, wrong way. Something like this. That. And we do that. Front of it. Kind of like a skid plate. What do you call those things? Okay. And something like this. Something like this. that. Trying to give myself enough room to work with in the back here. Not that way. Ah, run out of blocks again. Something like that. We'll have to fill in this side too. Just need enough room to be able to put the temporary engines, and then we'll put the large engines when we have the materials to make the larger engines. More blocks. This is gonna, yeah, this is a pretty, there's gonna be like so many layers of blocks in between the outside and where the components are located. What I really wish is that if you mouse over the components, it will show you how many blocks you can make before you run out. Like a little number right next to it that says, when you hover over it, it's like, you can, you know, with the materials you have in this constructor, you can make this many blocks of this type of block. Xeno substrate. Interesting. But yeah, I like the idea of hollowing out this central core once we get the additional rooms made on this thing. Yeah. Pick up berries, pick up berries. Go and get one of these. More vegetables. Do this real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Do yourself some food. What would be nice is if we could have, you know, a device that turns water into oxygen. That'd be nice. Health, perish time, body temperature. Not much. Food. Perish time 60. 60 seconds or 60 minutes? Probably 60 minutes. I don't think any of this food has ever perished in like 60 seconds. Maybe very apparent should it happen. Le burger. Le burger. Pizza. Pizza. Fruit pie. Okay, that's eaten. Nom nom. Okay, oxygen on here. Okay. Check our constructor for our blocks. There we go. Nice. Okay. Over here. Finish the blocking of this side. Okay. Fill that in. like this. Kind of give us a idea of where the engine's gonna be. Sense of where I'm going with this. There's here. Oh, not there. Scratch that. Try that again. And I really hope that they add symmetry capability for CVs. Right now, that's not possible. I'm just kind of having to pass back and forth. So, I know. Having to look at each side, review what's there. There we go. Okay. Okay. Beneath that. There's a no right there. There. Okay. Okay. Figure out engines here. Engines! I figure them out. Well, engine placement on the back here. I'm in the right spot, right? Yep. We're good. Right there. Nice. Again. Now let's see here. Now blocks again. Could probably leave this open. Something like this. Save some space a little bit. The engine's right there. You have to build some more. Yeah, we can't build these yet. 2x2 by 4, which is eventually what we're gonna put there. So we just put 2 of these things on the back, but not that many. Only 4 of them for now. And then thrusters, regular thrusters, so I'm thinking probably 3 for directional, and then we're gonna have to probably have maybe 6 down. Okay. 6 thrusters down. Might be enough to get this thing off of pretty much any planet with any type of gravity. At least that's my thought. At least that's the idea. We got ways to go until that's finished. While that's going, go up here. Kind of look at things a little bit. Where am I gonna put the earth? Where am I gonna put the thrusters on this thing? We still got like 2 blocks worth. We've, you know, width and length we figured out. We've got 2 blocks worth down we can work with. We are gonna have to probably cover up the maneuvering thrusters a little bit in order to make sure that they don't get shot at. I probably want to keep them close together just so that they're easier to defend. I'm not going to spread them out due to the fact that there's no such thing as, you know, rotation around rotation around the center of mass. So if you put a thruster way out in front, it's not like it's going to rotate the entire ship. It's going to, you know, these thrusters only represent that it goes up, down, left, and right. If they give us an option of CVHV dock, we wouldn't need to land CVs. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if they gave us the option of being able to dock an HV to the bottom of an SV and then take it off the surface. That's true. That's the whole existence, the whole reason for this ship's existence is just to transport HVs to different planets so that I can mine materials quickly. We're trying to get the very beginning of our resource gathering capabilities put together. And then once we have this all figured out, then we'll start building huge things, like working on our space station here. This thing is going to get huge. So we need to be able to get materials quickly. I made a massive CV that was not designed for space only. The idea was I could build an airlift SV to act as a small base that can lift an HV. Yeah, put a hangar on that thing. Put these HV on board. It would have to, you know, it'd probably be like bouncing around inside of there, but as long as you have it enclosed, it'd be fine. Up you'd go. This is kind of like a more of like a mobile carrier, a very small carrier, which I can go to different planets, be like, okay, we're gonna be gathering a ton of cobalt. So we'd go to a planet at Cobalt, land it, and off the HV we'd go. We'd gather up all we could and then come back, and then I'm gonna have to put storage on here somewhere. Probably on either side of the bay here. I'm just hoping that this thing is wide enough. It should be wide enough. We've had on a previous build, this hangar size was just big enough for the maximum spread for the drills. So. But if this design works out, then I will save it and use it on later runs. It's on the workshop called DSV Pegasus Mark V. Check it out. I will. That's something I've been thinking about doing once we get further in the game, is kind of like I have a show and tell. Essentially, when we have so many materials that we don't know what to do with, I might just go and get some blueprints for some cool designs and just build them and fly them around and try them out. 90% of the hull is empty, waiting on new stuff to fill her up. Yeah. There's a couple of designs that I want to try out that I'm purposely not making until they add more parts. Like this farm over here. This farm over here is a 0G farm that I want to have, but the problem is the planting mechanics in the game don't allow you to plant on these surfaces, only on one surface. That whatever space considers down. So until they fix that, that's just gonna have to be put on hold for a while. Because I plan on having this thing extend out, and then I'll have a second one somewhere else on the space station. And I'll post the link as it's 15 decks tall. You can PM me the link, because we have links turned off in the chat, mostly because we've had bots come in trying to, not saying that you're a bot, it's just we've had bots come in pretending. Let's see here. You there. Yeah, we had bots come in and like advertise for like cam girls or stuff like that. Like, nah, let's just turn that off. Yeah, bots on your channel. Yeah. Kind of annoying. Okay, let's probably do something like this. Do that. And we'll put you right here. Go for that. I think that will look cool. I'm still really learning how to build in this game. What the best tactic for me is for building in this game. So I'm just kind of making things up as I go. I'm a bot, just kidding. Hey, Pride. Okay, let's see here. Have float in space for a little while here. I might have seen your design while I was looking around on the spaceship. Oh, yeah, that's pretty big. Nice hangar. It's a pretty large hangar too. I see you have an observation deck, giant engines in the back. That's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, I got a ways until I get to that point. I've been lurking, didn't go work today for reasons. For reasons. Websites may come and go, but porn spam is eternal. Yes, that is true. That is definitely true. Yeah, let's cover this up a little bit. Cover you up a little tiny bit. Do something like this. Ink. I'm thinking about defending on this thing a little bit. Bait. Ink. Oh, game plays. We gotta remove that. We can have the regular blocks here. But I'm getting better at my designs. My designs are getting better. Now that I know how, how the blocks work together, my designs are coming out a lot more, they look a little bit better. Space for 80 odd Avengers Strikecraft. You cannot see your ass going to work. For shits and giggles, gotta make this Death Star sometime. I'm thinking eventually. There are certain designs that I want to make. I'm not gonna be able to one for one recreate certain ships, but I want to make ships that are inspired by certain ships. Like I want to have a ship that's inspired by the Normandy. I want a ship that's inspired by the Delta Flyer. I want one that's inspired by the Voyager. I want one that's inspired by, not exact replicas like I've seen on the workshop, but I want to make ones that are inspired by them, so that it's not an exact duplicate of it. But I got one thing or two I wish wasn't going on. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, we need more thrusters. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna go straight 6. So we got the 6 pointed down. We need, I'm thinking probably 2 forward, to the right, to the left for thrusters. We don't need incredible maneuverability with this thing. We just need it to be able to get off of and on a planet. We just need to get off and on. Okay, and probably 2 more. We'll have 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. 8 will work. Yeah, and then we have to... Ooh, shoot. We just ran out of something. Did we? What did we run out of? Cobalt? Yeah, we ran out of cobalt. So we are gonna have to make... We are gonna have to make a run. Okay. That's unfortunate, but also not surprising. So we're gonna have to make a trip and get materials. But yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be, all of my designs are gonna be made, in survival. So rather than going into creative, making a design and then testing it out there and then bringing it into a survival, I'm making all my designs in survival as I go, just so that I make designs that are, a little bit more function over form. Don't get me wrong, I want them to look nice too, but yeah, ran out of material. Okay, we're gonna have to go and get cobalt, which luckily for us, there's an asteroid right next door to us. Luckily for us. Let's place some thrusters along the ship here. We got one here, another one there, or forward. We got up, down. I'm thinking probably start on left and right. Thinking right there. That's a fairly defensible location. Shot, that should work. Get into our small little tiny ship. Turn on main power.
Confirmed.
There you go. Well, as you can see, vast majority of all my ships are fairly just bare bones. Especially for the very first ships that I make. They're just purely functional. This allows me to get around. This thing is more of a pod than a spaceship. This is part of the reason why I even dropped my space station here in the first place. Because, one, I wanted to be close to where the asteroid belt was, because I thought that was a pretty cool piece of scenery. That once we get the observation towers in place, seeing the asteroid belt with the planet nearby would look pretty sweet. But also because there was this asteroid here with a whole bunch of cobalt on it. Another reason I'm making all my designs in survival is mostly because of challenge. It's an extra degree of challenge. I like challenge. And the biggest challenge is going to be constantly coming up with tasks for myself. Because I'm notorious for, especially when it came to Minecraft, I'm notorious for getting to a point where I'm established and then like getting bored. So I'm trying to give myself tasks. That's why I wanted to start a new run that had more planets in it. So that I'd have like tasks of, okay, well, let's go and check out the entirety of this planet, or let's go and build a space station around this planet, so on and so forth. I need things to do. Keep myself interested. But yeah, the very first CV we made was essentially a mobile base. It was a giant, I wouldn't say giant, more of like frigate-sized space base. Which I kind of just threw together. It was built around a giant hangar. Is this entire thing pretty much hollow in the inside? Because that would be awesome. It'd be pretty sweet if it was like the entirety of the inside of this thing is just nothing but cobalt. Which that's another task for a different day, is making a CV that's designed to go around and mine asteroids like this whenever we find them. But we're gonna have to do this by hand for a while. Which isn't too bad. We've got this tier 2 mining drill. Which right now, the only advantage to having the turret versus the tier 2 drill we have right here is that we don't have to leave a ship. But because oxygen is so easy to come by, you know, unless you know, I guess early game, I guess, but if you're able to make a CV with a drilling turret, you're kind of not, you're no longer within early game, so. Still trying to figure out a good use for that kind of a turret. Unless they make it to where the turret, you know, mines a lot faster than this thing, then yeah, that would be like, that would give it a use. Also, they have to increase the spawn rate on these kind of asteroids, because these asteroids are like rare. At least right now. At least right now in Alpha, fairly rare. In fact, if they made it to where asteroid belts, if they made it to where asteroid belts and asteroid fields were a little bit more rare to spawn, then they could make it to where that's where all the asteroid, well, the highest chance of getting these kind of asteroids are located. Then you'd be like, oh sweet, there's an asteroid field over here, or oh my god, there's an asteroid belt around my starting planet, this is awesome. And then, you know, make yourself a CV, go into those areas and just mine to your heart's content. You can make all of that. You can make a custom scenario. There's a plant editor in the game folder. Yeah, I haven't played around with it yet. Well, I've loaded it up and like fumbled around, but I'm not 100% sure how it works. Solar system generator. Yeah, so it's this very, very basic user interface that it has, with a whole bunch of settings in it. I'm probably gonna have to learn how to use that thing here eventually, so that I can make my own solar system. Especially once this game gets into beta, because I do plan on having a viewer server set up once this thing gets out of alpha. I just want the game to become a little bit more stable, because that's like the biggest thing for any server game, multiplayer game, is that the game has to be stable first, because you start running into problems like crashes, huge desync issues, stuff like that. I know this because I've played on Minecraft servers. Granted, that game is in Java, but which is an issue in itself for programmers. But that is the plan. And I'm thinking probably that if I do a viewer server, it's probably going to be something like we give ourselves like one giant project that we all work on. How are we doing? 665? Pretty good. Like, make a giant surface base of some sort, or giant space station, or and when I'm talking like giant space station, if we were gonna like team up together and make one giant space station, I'm talking like Stargate Atlantis sized space station, huge space station. That's what I'm talking about. It's like huge space station. kind of space station where we'd push the limits of a server-side multiplayer game. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. One that requires a ton of people to be working on it. That would be awesome. Space City size. Yes. Exactly. I think that would be awesome. That's one colossal cobalt asteroid. I know, right? Yeah, we've nearly gotten through halfway through. We've nearly gotten halfway through this cobalt asteroid. It's nice. And we previously picked away at it before this attempt, so. Are we doing an oxygen? Okay, let's move. Let's head back. We've got like 730 units. Problem is the game has a max building size, which I hit with the CV's length. Yeah, that's why, you know, I'd want to, you know, make a space station that kind of pushed what that limit is. I'd love to be able to do that. Granted, the ships we're currently building right now are nowhere near hitting the limit, but eventually we will. Eventually. We'll just park this here again. Give us a chance to figure out the size of this docking bay here. Turn off main power.
Executing now.
There we go. Let's finish our thrusters on this thing. Stop you here. Okay. How are we doing? Might be able to, yeah, make the rest of the thrusters here. Okay, we got one. Go at left and right. And up. Okay. We have to fill this thing up with fuel. And then what we'll do is we'll immediately go down to the surface, pick up our HV, and then lift off. And that will pretty much be everything that we need from this planet. So at that point, we'll just be officially off of this planet. There's no coffee here. That's right. I finished it. Right? Yes, I did. Yeah. What is the maximum size anyway? How many blocks wide is it? Because I'm quite sure it's like a radius from the center where the block is located. Or the controller block. 250, 250, 250. Wow, that's actually a very massive area to work in. So 250 cube. That's pretty big. What am I missing? Steel plate. Oh, we need iron. We're now out of iron. Gotcha. Pretty massive area to be able to play in. 250. That's probably what I'm going to make the center column, 250 blocks. And then we'll have a good idea of connection points. That's what we'll do. Sounds like a good idea. Good plan. Good plan, great plan. Good plan, great plan. There. Okay. I have to go get iron. I love the defector. The defector just looks pretty sweet looking. The defector. Okay, so let's see here. Where's the probably on the surface is probably the best place for us to get iron. Actually, the moon would probably be even better because the iron deposits are a lot larger on a moon. If we go onto our starter planet, we'll be able to pick up oxygen off of the survival generator we have down there. Many good options. Let's actually do that. Turn on main power. Turn on main power.
Acknowledged.
There we go. That's what we'll do. We'll head to where our HV is currently located. We'll go and grab the oxygen it's currently had produced. And then we'll look for an iron deposit that we can go to nearby. Loading. Still loading. There we go. Oh shoot, we're gonna have to reload the game. Yeah. That's unfortunate. There's the radar station. There's the wreck where our HV is located. Okay. I really hope they fix that problem. I'm quite sure they will. It's just because, you know, alpha game and all. Kind of comes with the territory. But yeah, this ship is a small combat vessel. So all the blocks that are on this ship are all hardened steel. Eventually, we will upgrade all of the blocks to be. We'll upgrade all these blocks to be combat steel. But for the time being, they're just gonna be hardened steel for now. But this is the ship that I am going to be using to, for the most part, going and taking on points of interest. So it's got 2 guns. It's got 2 chain guns on the front, and it's got 4 missile pods. One shot from the missiles will just take out, 1 turret. So 1 plasma turret will get one-shotted. Also, ooh, that's a radiation storm. Also, the way it's configured, how the enemy drones attack, how the enemy drones and the turrets attack you, is they prioritize the core first and foremost. So there's these like levels of stuff in the way, to where they'll destroy everything else before they even get close to the core. And this thing is kind of like a flat nose, so it's just like one giant armor plate right in the front of this thing that I'm able to just shoot over. I don't think that's supposed to be the way it's supposed to look, game. Yeah, that's not even close, buddy. But yeah, we'll go over here and we'll land. And then we'll reload the game from here. Here we are. This is where we started out at. There's a hover vessel. Okay. Turn off main power.
As you wish.
And we'll do a quick backup here. In case, just in case. I do this every single time I exit out, just in case, because, you know. Because at any time the game could get corrupted. I'd rather have a backup point that doesn't have me having to, you know, start from scratch with certain projects. Every game. Zoom game. There we go. That's what we need to make eventually. Okay. Turn on main power.
Okay, executing now.
Oh, come on. Oh my god. I don't get it. How you not be able to get up? I mean, seriously. This happens every once in a while. The vents are supposed to, there's vents that are currently, there are vents that are on the bottom of this thing that are covering up the bomb jets, bomb thrusters. For some reason, don't know why, whenever I first load up the game, the thrusters don't work. I don't know why. Well, they're not as effective. Here, I'm gonna do this real quick. Might be because I'm just... Okay, we are... How many? Making sure that I'm high enough off the ground so I can take a look. Okay. Thrusters are here. Landing gear is not obstructing anything. Am I just not getting enough thrust power going down, maybe? Check here. Check the stats. 9 meters per second. Because left and right is fine. May have to just add another thruster on the bomb. Yeah, it's just gonna have to be what I have to do, I guess. Hello. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's just what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna add another thruster onto the bomb so it can get up. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's tear apart one of the Titan sections. That way we can get a ton of steel plate. We can get a ton of steel plate and hardened steel plates. Do that. I mean, they're sources of iron, really. Salvage those things down. We still got we've nearly finished off one part of it. We've still got two other parts that we can tear down. Do that. Sounds like a good idea. Good plan, great plan. Do that. And since we don't have a core on them, they'll just give us the raw materials rather than the blocks, which is fine. We need the steel plate for the thrusters and all that. Anyway, the blocks won't do us much good unless, you know, except for, you know, being able to build the structure of the ship. But this trip is a lot faster when it's not by hovercraft. Huh. It's almost like going in a straight line is faster. Who would have thought? Yeah, here's the crash front part we've been working on here. Yeah. Turn off main power.
As you wish.
There we go. Okay. Steel plate. Lots and lots of steel plate. Yeah, that's not a vanilla feature. No, I'm using a program called Voice Attack. It's a program that I was introduced to by another streamer called Tomfoolery, and he uses it during playing Elite Dangerous. So I've been using it to do hotkeys in this game. Tomfoolery is a major he's a major fan of simulator games, so that's what he usually plays. And back when I was playing Elite Dangerous, I've met him, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna use my Voice Attack program to do all the hotkeys in this game. That way I don't have to remember what they are. Well, I do know what they are, it's just a lot cooler when you have this AI helping you out in a sci-fi game. It just kind of seems appropriate. Like, let's see if I can remember. Hello? Nope. Hello, Verity. Nope. There's a couple of commands that I have set up. Trying to remember what they are. I need to add a couple more. It's a work in progress, much like this game. Eventually, I'll have it to where, you know, when I'm talking, she'll just kind of interrupt. Plus, I'll get to the point where I'll even forget that there's a command for something, and she'll just like say something all of a sudden, which will be pretty cool. When I was playing, there was no option to turn off power and engine separately, so the fridges used to go offline. Yeah, once I can figure out if there's a way to turn thrusters off from a hotkey, I'll add that to her list of commands. Steel plate for days. Pretty soon, this thing will look like it's never even been here. There's an entire section of this thing that's underground, which is annoying, but Just saying it's already in the game. Oh, for a button press for thrusters. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up then. To turn off and on thrusters. And add that to voice attacks list of commands. I know there's the I button is for turning off auto stop. You can combine signals to a single piece or group that you can turn on and off. Okay. That's good to know. Can you assign that group to a hotkey of your choosing? Because it would be pretty... Aww. Sad. Sad face. Oh well. Because that'd be sweet. To create your own collection of items that you can turn off and on and off by a hotkey. Is it like parking brake, standby mode, weapon slots, opening, closing, auto closing doors, ramps, etc. Yeah, that's what I want to be able to do is... Okay, so I think we got everything off of the surface. There we go. How much steel plate did we just get? Oh, 1,500. Nice. 1,500 steel plate. That's pretty sweet. It's nice. Now if a hotkey is possible, it's on the main menu in, yeah, this part. All these custom signals. Yeah. I just wish we could have like, we can assign hotkeys to these. To where, you know, someone can button press or, you know, voice attack can do them for me. Anyway. Exit out. Turn on main power.
Engaging.
There we go. We have to get off of the surface like this. Okay, now we need to find the other part, which is over here. So we got two more parts. We got the mid part and we got the back part. The back part we haven't really done much to, other than like hollowing out the what you would call it, the bridge here. Yeah. Turn off main power. Turn off main power.
Accepted.
There we go. There we go. Got some flux coils out of that. Nice. At least you have thrusters in general, so kind of standby mode. Yeah, pretty much. You know, it would be pretty cool to where with voice attack, if you had all this, if you could have custom modules on your ship to be, if you have custom modules on your ship that you can turn off and on, then you can, in voice attack, you could basically say minimum power, and the ship would just turn off all major systems to where it's on like the lowest setting for power usage, which would be pretty sweet. There we go. And then we go back up here, and we'll start from the top and work our way down. Try and get the central core kind of. How are we doing on? We got multi-charges for days. We're good. Well, at least 7 of them. Start tearing this thing down. Get ourselves a bunch of supplies here. Also, this playthrough is just kind of me playing around with the idea of spending most of our time salvaging, so getting our things like iron and hardened plate and all that kind of stuff just from tearing these things down. And eventually gain expensive components like thrusters and stuff like that from just getting a core made. Damn it. And then just grabbing the components straight off of these wrecks. Seeing if that's, you know, reasonable objective. Which we can't do all the time, but most of the time would be nice. To kind of spend as little time mining and also crafting. Eee. Gotta be careful, or the entire floor is gonna just give out from underneath me. Which would suck. This also gives me an opportunity to kind of look at from the point of view of the developer on how they kind of made what combination of blocks creates what structures. Like this. What block that is. Yeah. Where am I doing? I'm currently gathering up steel plate. So I'm salvaging this wreck to get us a bunch of steel plate and hardened plate to be able to work on our CV, which is going to be a landing craft that we can load up an HV that's designed for mining. And right now I'm just kind of tearing this thing down, get those bits and pieces we need. Because we've still got a couple of thrusters we have to make. And once that thing is up and running, then we're going to have to go down here, get our hovercraft, and then we'll start working on the hovercraft and turn it into a drilling platform. Just trying to get the economics of our run figured out, because we do plan on making a massive space station in this game. And first and foremost, we need to just move up from drilling by hand. Because from what I've been told, 250 cubed is our limit to the size of a ship we can make. Don't let you break. Need your parts. So a massive space station that is within that limit is what we're shooting for. And then we'll have a bunch of like mini space stations in orbit around other planets. Damn it. Certain bits and parts are starting to lose integrity here, so trying to tear this thing apart in such a fashion to where we get at least most of the parts. Probably breaking the ones that are already broken. Turn the spotlight on, please. Okay, go up. Yeah. I want at least most of the plate here. Oh, God! Oh, that would have sucked. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We only took a little bit of damage. Not all of our health. There. Yeah, unfortunately the roof is like double decker, so trying to get that top block is going to be interesting. But of the parts we have so far, we have beginnings of our giant space station. So it's going to be kind of, the design of the space station is going to be much like the ISS, the International Space Station, kind of a look. It's 0G. So the 0G space station that we're creating because I've already made kind of like a space station that has a gravity generator. Well, it was a giant CV that we had on our last run. Okay. This is giving us a ton of hardened steel and steel plate. I'm going to get to the point where I have at least this entire top part flattened out before we call it good enough. The vast majority of this ship is just going to be used in our construction. This is just free steel plate. Oh, sad. Oh man. Oh well. Okay, well, that's not the worst thing that happened. I mean, this stuff is free anyway. It would have been nice to have all that, but oh well. Turn on main power.
Confirmed.
Okay. Go into space. 1, 2, 3 space. But I think we have enough steel plate to be able to finish our thrusters. And then we'll land this thing. Once we get the bridge made, we'll land this thing. It's on the other side of the planet, isn't it? Nope, wait. Right there, okay. There's our space station. Get all the thrusters made, fill it up with fuel, and then we'll go and land it. Get our hovercraft, and then we'll go back into space. I haven't even gone and gotten the oxygen from our survival generator, so. Okay. Stop, please. Stop, please. There we go. So that's our space station and our landing CV. Turn off main power.
Initiating.
Our jetpack here. Okay. But our landing craft here is going to be designed with takeoff and landing from any planet, dropping off a mining CV, and having a SV docking port on the top where the bridge is going to be located. Eventually we're going to expand it to where it's not going to be medium thrusters in the back. It's going to be 2 large thrusters in the back, which are 2x2x4. But initially it's going to have it's going to have a set of 4 medium-sized thrusters on it. And drop you all off. Okay, we got tons of steel plate. We got like 2,000 steel plate now. That should be more than enough. Make thrusters. Okay, then we have to have 2 pointed up so that this thing can go down. We have to have some landing gear, which I'm thinking probably 4 should do. Yeah. Well, that's working. But yeah, in our run, we pretty much went like straight to space. We just went 1, 2, 3 space, go. Fairly early on in our run, we went straight into space. Rather than making a base on the surface, we just said, you know what, screw it. Straight to space, which will allow me to construct all of our ships in 0G, which is way easier than trying to make these giant ships on the surface of the planet. Because normally when you're on the surface of the planet, you go into F5, you know, you hit F5 and you use a drone to construct your ships. Well, this way, our jetpack is our drone. Let's see here. Okay. We need cargo space, so I'm gonna just not that many. Probably 6. 6 for now. And then we'll expand upon that later. Okay, we have our small ammo box on the ship. We need lights and spotlights. Do 4. And then we'll have a couple of lights. 6 for now. We're not going to do armored. This thing is going to be kind of built like a submarine. So not many windows. Mostly because the windows are weak points on the ship. Gonna do heavy window blocks for the cockpit here, for the bridge. I haven't played around with the heavy window blocks, so we'll see what those are capable of. What they're capable of. The landing gear. Put it onto our SV here so we can land. Something like this. I want to do heavy landing gear like this. Do like that. Only right here. One there. One there. I'm giving myself 2 blocks worth of space here to work with. Only right here. Right there. There we go. Okay, then we can get rid of these blocks now as our guides. Oh. We have to do like a central rib, I guess, for a block here. Something like this. What kind of a block can we put there? Half cube works. Yeah. Something like that. I gotta run this on Pegasus by using armored windows, double glazed. Yeah. Try out these special blocks. You know, quote unquote special blocks. These things. Heavy window blocks. It's the first time I've used them. And they supposedly have different versions. That's cool. Window B. Ooh. Window C. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Star Trek, anyone? Oh my god, that's awesome. That looks awesome. What other block types do we have available to us? That's why I stopped building due to all the new stuff coming out. Yeah. I know, right? Those look awesome. These are armored ones. How much armor do they have? 1,500. 1,500 hit points for a window. Pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. I like it. Okay, we're gonna have to put, we're gonna have to enclose that thing. Yeah, finish enclosing that. But for the sake of this, I'm gonna do this. These kind of larger cargo containers. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll put over here too. 1, 2, 3. So we can move materials from the HV over into these containers if we need to. Yeah, so we're going to do this. We're going to have spotlights near the landing gear here. I know they don't have to be, they can pretty much be located inside the vessel and they'll go through the blocks, but I have them showing here by each of the landing gear so that I can line up a little bit. I'll put landing spotlight back here, probably right here. That'll work. Use those spotlights as like landing lights so we can see where we're potentially going to land. And we'll have these ones light up the front here. One right here, one right there. So the light's right there. Put poly light right there, light right there. We don't need it to be perfectly lit, but lit enough where we can see. Do like that. And once we are we'll probably have to put one on the ceiling for this one. Okay. Drop you there, drop you there. Those armored windows look pretty sweet. It was just like full on. It's full on Star Trek right there. It's just like, yeah, pretty sweet. Okay, decoration. Probably should put some tech equipment, decoration, consoles, radar. We need a bed in there. Couple of these, couple of those, those, and the other thing. A couple of these, just so that it looks like there's stuff in there that are semi-functional. All those are being worked on, which is something we'll do for the space station eventually. We'll have like rooms that have no other purpose other than decoration. Like they have no other purpose other than just to exist. Something like this. Okay. Top covering on here. There we go. Okay. There's the this landing pad right there. In fact, I'll probably do something like this, just to kind of fully armor this thing a little bit. So it's a lot harder for them to hit the windows. We don't need this for being able to look around. Yeah. There we go. That's fairly armored. We need those. Don't think we need those. Take them off. That way, when they're shooting from this side or that side, it's really hard for them to actually hit those windows. Actually, let's remove this. Get the angled blocks right here. These ones. There. Does make it look a little nicer. There. There we go. That'll work. Over here. Copy what we did over there. There we go. Okay, so we're at the point of semi-functional. Do something like this. Here. One right there. Extra protection for those thrusters right there. Okay. Do stuff like that, We're gonna have to cut out. We'll have to cut out those once we put the larger thrusters on, but okay. Then we're gonna have to do kind of like a test on maneuverability. So we'll have to put fuel in this thing and power it up, and then try to take off and land with it, just to make sure. There we go. All the fuel. There we go. You are filled up, ready to go. All right. No? Okay. It's not. Yeah, ramps. We're gonna have to finish the ramp. So we have to put 2 singles right there. So that we have a full facing ramp without any gaps. Okay, where is our... We dropped off a couple of ramps here. There's one. I need another. Need to build another one. Oh, check that all out. Got all of our decorative stuff. Why do we only have one decoration? What am I missing? Raw plastic. Okay, we need to get grain. We need to get grain put into here. The raw plastic. Let's see here. Ramp. Ramp block. Oh. We have to put the light in the bridge. Okay. We need grain. We can make the rest of the door decoration blocks. Nope. Yeah. No, not that many. So 6 of them for now. And up we go. Okay, need something that's thin, that's similar to that one. Probably thinking this. Yeah. One on one side, one on the other. There we go. So this entire thing will now go up together, in theory. Why are they not connected together? Should be. Yeah. Well, let's turn this baby on. Turn the baby on. Check out fuel consumption and all that kind of stuff. Turn on main power.
Yes, Captain.
Make sure that we have ourselves far enough to where you can see maneuverability. Up. Oh yeah, that's. Oops. Yeah. We have to rotate. Rotate. We don't have thrusters. Yeah, we didn't put thrusters for up. Turn off main power.
Executing now.
If you land a ship on a planet, isn't the layout going to affect you getting around inside of it? Currently right now, we have it to where we have an elevator. So we can get around. So we can get to all the different floors. So that's not a problem. So, you know, getting around the ship isn't a difficulty right now. Okay. Do something like... Yeah, we can't put it there. So where do we put you? Where do we put you instead? Probably nowhere. Probably gonna have to have a dark bridge then. That's fine. There we go. Okay. So we need... Yeah, we need to get the thrusters put on this thing. We gotta put the upward facing thrusters. I felt like I was forgetting something. Yeah, grab you. But we got 6 thrusters pointed down. So that no matter what kind of gravity we're dealing with, we can still get off. Because it may escape some people to build with gravity in mind. At a quick look, all I see is just pathways up and down, no ladder or anything. But yeah, elevators work, yeah. Currently, the game doesn't exactly have it doesn't have... Well, it does have ladders, but I haven't seen the option of building ladders. They're on Rex. I've seen them on Rex, but I haven't seen the option to create ladders. There's railings and walkways. There's stairs. Don't seem to be any ladders anywhere. It's on the constructor. Yeah, no ladder, yeah. Yeah. That way. Only elevator, yep. Yep. There is no ladder, there is only elevator. You will use only elevator. ladders are actually railings. Oh, okay, so the railings rotated to look like ladders, right? But they're not functional ladders. Let's do something like this. Almost want to do something. Let's put them here for now, till I find a better spot to put them. Okay, so we got all the major directions. And stairs. Elevators are better. Yeah, elevators are better. Artificial plants for reasons, as we can. Artificial indoor. That's very small. That is also very small. Do something like this. A bed. Well, we are, yeah. Wait, this is how you... Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, that's a thing. Should be shape. You know what? Okay, bunk bed. I get the top bunk. Okay. And we'll do that for now. Decoration consoles. Do something like this. This is not functional. Aw, that's too big. Yeah, 2 by 2 by. There, let's go like this. Right there for now. Then we'll put something over here. Media center. Gear table. Holographic screen. Right there. Showers allow to normalize temperature from when you are at severe temperature. Oh, yeah, okay. We'll definitely have to do that. Holographic screen. Do something like that right there. I want to have a bunch of holographic things all over the place here. Stuff like that. Just so that it looks like a functioning space station kind of a deal. This device is not functional. Do that, and probably one of those right here. Okay. Holographic screen. Put one of these right here. You should have a shower near the entrance. Yeah, we'll have to make ourselves another bed component. Yeah, let's see here. Large box. Cryo chamber. That makes a lot of sense. Do something like that. Cryo chamber. Repository. Okay, a large box with mysterious things inside. Because reasons. Power storage. Are you gonna texture the box on the inside? Eventually, yeah. Eventually. But, I mean, I'm not gonna do anything, extremely, detailed. Radio tower. That thing is huge. Didn't realize this radio tower was so huge. Probably put it on the bottom, maybe. Maybe, sort of. Yeah, put it on the bottom. They're like right there. And these ones, which have different versions. See here. Antenna. Whoa, that thing is huge. Okay, nothing that big. Antenna. Just a small antenna. And a 4. All of them on one side. That works. For now. Okay. Yeah, I figured it's probably going to be kind of... Some of those blocks will be in the way, which we can always replace. You know, all the designs are kind of work in progresses. See here. Decoration. These ones. Okay. Make 2 of those. So we need like a shower. So that we can, when we're on irradiated planets, we can get rid of radiation. Because this thing is going to be going to different planets, so it needs to be pretty much able to allow us to survive in many different atmospheres and conditions and all that. See here. Okay. Toilet, bathroom, sofa, shower, shower. Shower 1, shower 2. Okay, that's a special shower. Probably put it right next to the, yeah. Put it right next to the plant here. Probably plants are not going to be needed on this kind of a... So we'll put it right there. Yeah, that'll work. And then we put wardrobe. Ooh, wardrobe. You should have some medical blocks and deploy them. You can have 5 different consoles. Medical blocks? Small table, closet. Right there. You talking about this medical block right here? First aid station? Furniture, but medical block. Okay. So, let's see here. Furniture. Medical block. Shower, small chair, closet, bookshelf, counter, toilet. Bench, sofa, bunk bed, table, small table, shower. One of them removes radiation. One of them removes radiation. Okay. Indigestion, hangover, bad trip, stamina recovery, television. Shower reduces radiation, decreases and increases body temperature. Yeah. Not on those blocks? Okay. Because that's for machines. Artificial plants. Where's the furniture blocks? Can't use bed anymore. Furniture, huh? Yeah, we also have to try and keep our, you know, reception corner thin. Yeah, because we've got like very little space to work with here. But we got bed, we got shower. Maybe tech. Maybe it's under the tech consoles. Medical supplies. Here, energy in. Decorational. No, it doesn't look like it. let's see here. So it's not under, the medical stuff is not under furnishings, it's not under console decorations. It's the same block as the medical bay. Okay. So this thing. So do the different medical stations do something different, or they all do the same thing? They just look different. Like, is there a they do different stuff? Oh, okay. Let's take a moment then. And check out what they all do here. Alien removal, broken leg, broken wound, poison heal. Okay. So I'm just gonna get the bare minimum in this thing, and then we'll make several different versions on the space station. So we'll have like heal here. Okay, so this one is just first aid. Indigestion, food poisoning, intoxication, fever attack, organ failure, dermal parasites. Then we got this one. Open wound, frostbite, dermal burn, necrosis, infected wound, broken leg, closed fracture, open fracture, mutilation, dermal parasites, endoparasites, alien parasites, radiation poisoning, fever attack, radiation burn, radiation sickness. Okay, so if I'm going onto a alien planet, which one of these would I need to have on? Probably like something that's gonna probably kill us immediately. Thermal parasites, thermal parasites. This doesn't give me a size. This one doesn't. Okay, broken leg, closed fracture, open fracture, radiation burn. This one seems to be way more useful. Parasites and radiation are a must. Okay. So this one. This type of medical station. Okay. And we'll probably put it right there. But we need to get rid of you. Radiation, right there. So we'll put that one here. So we'll have a straight up heal, and we'll have this one to get rid of dermal parasites, radiation, all that kind of stuff. That will take care of the basics. Because this thing, we want this thing to be kind of like, have a first aid station on there that will get rid of the dangerous things, and then it will keep us alive long enough to be able to get to our space station, which will have an entire medical bay to this thing, where we'll have all these different things that can take care of whatever we need when we get back here. We just need something that will keep us alive until we do get here. Okay, up here. Pilot. Turn on main power.
Accepted.
Yeah. Make sure that we have all the important things taken care of. Okay, there we go. Backing up, left, right, down, up. Yeah. Alien parasites and open wounds are slow killers that can be removed, right? Okay. And that small little ship is hanging out on the front of it. It's good. Okay. Turn off main power.
As you wish.
Now we need to take care of our oxygen. We need to go and take care of our oxygen and all that. Let's go up. For some reason these two are not working together, which is weird. They prevent multiple illnesses, so diseases have a progression stage. Oh, okay. That's good. Okay, get ourselves some oxygen. We can take care of our food here, which we need food right now. Getting pretty hungry right here. Okay, let's see here. Grab the vegetables. Can't get grain. Protein. Fruit isn't going to help us really right now. And go up. Nope. Go down. There we go. Okay, drop you, drop you. Okay, meat. We don't have the ability to make bread, so we'll just make grilled steak. However many it will let us make. There we go. We have no grain yet. We're waiting for that to grow. We're gonna have to expand our farm eventually, though, so we can have more grain being grown at the same time. There we go. How much food does this give us? 27? It gives us 44. Yeah. I think we're good for now on food. We need to go and retrieve our HV now. Gotta go and retrieve that thing. Also check out how much fuel we've just used. Barely any, so that's good. Okay. Turn on main power.
Executing now.
Okay. Go retrieve our HV now. We have something that's bare bones. We still have to put all the turrets on it. We still have to texture this thing. But right now I want to go and retrieve our HV and get on board and see how much room we have to work with the size of the HV that we have right now. Oh, it's happening again. Shoot. Radar station wreckage. There it is. It's happening more frequently now. You notice that? I don't know why. God, I hope they come up with an update and fix this. Because loading and having the ground be gone like this is kind of... Sometimes it needs a client restart. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do this real quick. Yeah, just making sure it's there. Yeah. %10 power when it's just hovering. It's not bad. Not horrible. Those are 97%. 3% just gained down on the surface. Okay. Well, this thing is only supposed to get to a location and land. Supposed to just get onto a plant, land, and then the HV takes it the rest of the way. And then we come back and then this thing takes off. This thing's meant to go somewhere and land and stay there. Also, we have everything on right now, so we could probably go through and turn unneeded things off. And then we could probably increase our fuel consumption. Then once we get the HV on board, we'll take a look around the inside of this thing, see how everything is like set up and if we like where it's all located. And then we'll do some final last minute touches on this thing. Just for looks. Oh, I love the spotlights, those are great. That is nice. Allows me to see how high off the ground we are. Oh, come on. Oh, you. I know you. Oh, fuck. Rotate, please. We got caught on something. And there was that guy. Okay. Okay. This is everything on. Pretty good. Go check out in here. Pretty light in here. That's good. Looks pretty good. The hangar. Drop you down. Okay, get my gun out. Take care of you. Gotcha. Okay, so we may have to make this thing lower to the ground here. But it is functioning as intended, which is good. Okay, we need to land this thing somewhere that's a little bit flatter. Other power, 92. Okay, let's go through here. Repair station. Go through and find out what needs to be turned on, what needs to be turned off. Thinking probably turn the fridge off for now. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, we're gonna turn you off. Body radiation dropping. Yay. Yeah. We'll move out to over here a ways where it's nice and flat. And the lights are coming, so that's nice. Off to Lent, thanks for your stream. Don't let them work you too hard later. Yeah. Kinda comes with the territory, you know? Yay, work. But hey, it pays my bills, allows me to do this, so. Yeah. Okay, let's check out this landing zone here. This landing gear to... Not quite sure if I can make it up here. We'll have to go over and see. Let's get the hovercraft over here. Haven't used this thing in a while. Oh. Get this hovercraft away from this place. Oh, you got that bug again. We've got that bug again. Do this. Yeah, we got that weird hover off the ground bug right now. We can't get to you. Turn on main power. Turn on main power.
Unable to comply.
Oh, come on. Why can't I get to you? It has oxygen in it. I can't get to it. Annoying. Blech. Okay, we'll have to keep that marked for now. Yeah, part of me feels like there's probably a memory bug somewhere. Yeah, let's get up to 3 meters. This should allow us to get on board. Yep. And we duck down. And here we are. Turn off main power.
Engaging.
There we go. We got our HV back. Ain't that nice? It's currently got a couple of thrusters destroyed on it because that stupid. We had a couple of bugs that were shooting at it. But at least most of the major components are still here. Lost a couple of hover engines on it. A couple of lights. Yeah, they were all shooting from one side. Okay, but we got it back. That's the important part. Now we just need to go through this and try and turn it into a drilling platform. But we got most of the major components back. Yeah. Anyway. Close everything up. Check the power consumption right now. Okay, current output is 50 megawatts. We're using 356, which is not bad. Not great, but it's not bad. We turn off the thrusters. What does that bring us? 288. Okay, but I think we got like good basics going on here for this particular vessel. From the looks of things, for the size of that cockpit and what I've seen one of our mining vessels looking like, I think we've made a hangar that's big enough. Yeah, this hangar is gonna work. We just need to figure out how this thing is gonna work and how we're going to dock this thing in here. I'm thinking probably right here. I might even be able to rotate a hovercraft in here and then just kind of dock it this way, like that. Have like a docking station on either side here. Well, designated docking port. Either that, or we have a docking station on the side of the hovercraft and dock it sideways. But we have to be able to dock it because this thing is going to rattle around, I feel. All right, let's do this. There is a not docked ship in your flying not possible. Shoot. That sucks. Okay, if that's the case, we're gonna have to make a docking pad. We're gonna have to make a docking pad, add it to this thing temporarily. Thruster. Tier 1 mechanical. Drill 1. Drill 2 laser. Grab you. Grab you. Shutter doors. Force field. Drill turret. Actually do that. Armor booster. Thruster jets. Minigun turret. We'll need. Rocket turret. Yes. O2 station. Are we gonna have something that big? Probably not. We need lights. Plasma turret, why not? Thrusters. Artillery. We're gonna be on the surface of the planet, so artillery might be useful later on. Multi-turret, yeah. We're not in multiplayer, so I don't need passengers yet. Yeah, let's see here. O2 station. Plasma cans, why not? Tier 2 landing gear. Lanius. Large fuel, fusion cell, large ammo box. Mining tier 2, and then tier 3. Flares. Can you tell I haven't done this in a while? Grab these. We are going to have to eventually make ourselves a base. You know, a surface base. How big is it going to be? Don't know. We got the hands, get you, pulse rifle, rocket launcher, shotgun. We're just kind of grabbing everything that isn't nailed down. Tier 2, we got the minigun, plasma cannon, rocket launcher. Okay, can't get those, okay. Travel ship, passenger seats. Okay, we're gonna have to level up some more. Turrets, tier 2 repair bay, force field emitters, maybe. Check out the base. Okay, rocket turret. I'll take you. Furnace. I haven't seen much use for it yet, but I could be totally wrong. Power storage. That is cool. I like that. Designated power storage. Okay. Go up. Wait, no. Ooh. I have a design issue. I have a slight design issue. I just noticed. How do I get to the hangar? How do I get to the docking pad on the planet? A bit of a design oversight, I see. So we're gonna probably have to put a door over here. We're gonna have to put an armored door on the side of here so that we can walk out and get to the docking pad. Huh. Okay. We can do that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Okay. But for the sake of time, we'll just blast ourselves salvage ourselves a hole so we can get out here. See here. Just remove that. Something like this. We can get out here. Because I just need to make a quick trip back to the space station to make a docking pad for this thing. Okay. Exit out. And while we're gone, I'm going to make sure that this thing is turned off. Turn off main power.
Negative.
That's right, stupid. There's a check in the program. Turn on main power.
As you wish.
I put a check in there so I can't say the same command twice in a row. So if I, turn on the power for one ship, I have to manually do it for the next one if I'm going through multiple ships. If there was a plug-in for this game that allowed the voice attack to be able to check to make sure that power is already turned on when you go to say turn on power, then it will say no, you can't do this because it's already been done and stuff like that. Yeah, let's turn off auto brake.
Unable to comply.
There's one of the commands. I stopped saying it because the voice attack wasn't recognizing my voice command, so but that time it did. So I was like, well, okay then. But we proved the concept that having the launching pad on the top, the docking pad on the top, is useful because it'll allow me to land it somewhere, and then if we need to go somewhere really, really quickly, we can always take off with some type of a small craft. There we go. Okay, turn off main power. Turn off main power.
Affirmative.
Check. Gotta get stuck inside of that thing. Okay, so we need a docking pad. Well, at least I now know that I can't move a ship with a undocked vehicle inside of it, so okay, let's see here. Docking pad, need that. Okay. Too bad you can't put solar panels on the side of a capital ship. That would be awesome. I'd love that. But sadly, no. Okay. Also want to play around with some switches. Okay, and I also need an armored door. This is something I need to figure out too. I need to figure out switches, how switches work. Might be able to, there's a way. Turn on main power.
Acknowledged.
Turn off power brake.
Declined.
Yep. Verity is not being helpful today. In any case, between modding solar panels on the ship and placing the alien core is simpler. Yeah, right. Yeah. To the wreckage. Where our mobile base is located. But the good thing is that we have something we can work with. This particular craft is, we're gonna have to move around, play around with. you know, shuffle around. And eventually we'll get to a point where we're happy with it. Then we'll save the design for later playthroughs. So it'd be like, okay, time to make the giant landing craft. Okay, over here. This way. Yeah, I feel like there's probably an issue with the unloading and reloading process. So for some reason the game is not loading things properly after it unloads something. Something's going on. Just coming back here to see if I can grab that. If it'll allow me. Yeah, it's considering it underground. See if I can, maybe if I do this. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's weird. Okay. Just playing around to see if it was like, yeah, there's a, it's a collider issue. I feel, I don't know. Again, I don't know how they've set up the back end of this game, but I do know that it's an Unreal Engine game, so Unreal engines can have some issues with it that kind of carry over from version to version. Turn off main power. Turn off main power.
Accepted.
Okay. This. There we go. That'll allow us to get over here. There we go. And docking pad. Where am I going to put you? This is why we need to redesign this thing. Because not exactly, yeah. Maybe, no. Let's do something temporarily. Like something like this. Remove you. Remove you. Do that. Turn on main power. Turn on main power.
As you wish.
There we go. Turn off main power.
As you wish.
There we go. Now it's considered docked. Turn on main power.
Yes, Commander.
Get ourselves off the surface. Okay. Mission mission successful. We got our HV back. Granted, we could just have, built ourselves a new one, but I just wanted to have proof of concept, a reason to build ourselves a transport vessel like this and see if it's possible to land, retrieve something, and then get it out of there. We just have to have a docking pad in order to do it, at least right now. But we now need to put like defensive systems on this thing. So turrets, most importantly turrets, so that when this thing is landed somewhere, we could put it into like minimum power and then just have the turrets kind of defend it while we're out and about using the HV. Screw up. Up. Yeah. Maneuver this thing. Such a fashion. Probably put it like right here. So we can get in and out of this thing. We are going to have to make a capital ship dry dock for this thing. Turn off main power.
Engaging.
Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. We just went through blocks. That just happened. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we got plenty of room in here. That'll work out just fine. That will work out just fine. Yeah. How fuel efficient is it? For a takeoff and a landing, how fuel efficient is it? 89. Okay, so 11% for takeoff and landing. And we did move a little, we got to our destination and we moved around a little bit. We repositioned, so not bad. We may have to make the fuel tanks a little larger, maybe. Hear that, we're gonna have to put like fuel storage of some sort. Turn you off. Get some food real quick here. Some grain maybe? Yep, we can get grain. Vegetables. We can make 2 burgers now. The burgers. Oh, I'm trying to go down here. Thank you. There we go. And tomorrow we'll make the hovercraft. Probably play around with switches. I could probably start playing around with switches right now. I want to have like if I can get to where the sensor, have this thing act like a sensor, to where if I enter a room, it turns on all the lights, and when I leave, it turns them all off. That's something I want to figure out. What the limitations of these sensor blocks are, because right now the only thing I've seen them do is switches. So you go over to it, flip it, and it sets opens a door. It's like all it really does. Eat that real quick. And that being the case, I'm gonna do something very simple. I'm just gonna make a switch that all it does is it extends the ramp and raises the hangar door. That's it. That's all it's gonna do. Something as simple as that. Proof of concept. Nom nom nom. Eat another burger. Yum yum yum. And we're good. There. Switch. Switch, switch, switch. Put sensor plus lamp in room. Look at sensor, press P to auto select. Give it a signal name. Look at light shutter. Like follow signal. Okay. I'm gonna do this right here. So, switch. Put sensor, lamp in room.
Look at sensor and press P. Lever. Okay. Click on right side to access sensor definitions. Sensor should be at top ceiling. Levers do not matter. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to do it for. I'm just gonna do the hangar doors. It's like hangar door goes up, the ramp goes down. Deploy more options. Yeah, that's auto group. Bloop. There we go. We can do this and this. Okay. You can configure doors to work automatically. Well, it's the doors. Yeah, the doors will open automatically. The ramp won't. The ramp you have to right click it. You have to hit F to have it do manually. Those things won't go down if I get close to them. I have to manually click them. So I want to be able to sit here inside the hangar bay and say, I'm going to take the HV out and come over to the switch and go switch, and it just ramp goes down, hangar door goes up. You can configure ramps too? Really? Ow. Here, ramp. 3 ramps. Go on HUD. Lock code. Oh, there's a lock code. What? Signal logic. Signal. I have all my ramps and shards configured to motion sensor. All works automatic, no lever needed, just motion sensor. Okay. So trapdoor, trigger plate, light barrier, motion sensor. Okay. So what's the radius on this thing? Permission to post a link? Feel free to send it through private message if you like. What's the radius on this thing? Is there like a particular radius I need to have this? Mass 1 kilogram, energy in, placeable. The range is variable. Okay. I also want to put it like right here. Oh, that's the sound of the. Okay. Place it at 2 blocks away from the door on this inside ceiling. Does this thing like detect you through walls? Is that how it works? Is it detects you through walls? Okay. Okay, so we hit P for this thing. Devices. Active. Oh. Interactive setup. Okay, front. Side. Oh, that's cool. So that's like 12 blocks away. See here. Let's see here. Okay. Details. Just right click on the button, interactive menu. Yeah. Story, engineering notes. Okay, medical bay, garden, special notes. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Interactive sub. Ooh. Okay. So, whoa. Okay, enlarge, left control, right control, plus numpad. Shrink, left control, alt, numpad. Okay. Okay, so exit out. Side one. Don't need it to be that way. I'm just going to do it manually this way because my numpad is currently set up for the scenes for my OBS. So do this way. And then this side, do something like this, 2 blocks away. Let's do 2 blocks away from that. So we're just going to do it manually from this way. And front, we need to go all the way back up here. Do like that. Do interactive step so we can take a look. Because we want it to be far enough on the ground to where we can see. Okay, we need that to be a little bit further away. On this side. Oh, not that way. 3. This way? Yeah. Go 9. Yeah, 9 blocks away will work. Because we need it to be in such a fashion to where it will see it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we got the sensor figured out. So we know it's going to see that. Now we need to figure out its signal logic, right? On, off, lock, unlock. Inverter. Go to the sign and give it a name. So to the device, right? Go on that, no. Go to the sign. And look at the door or light you want to move. And give it to the signal that you just named. Okay. Signal logic tab. Okay. So we're on signal logic. Create a signal. Hanger door. Enter, please. Okay, so we got hanger door. Do we have to say add circuit? And which kind of circuit are we dealing with here? Something like this, like a 2 times AND. Say add circuit. Okay, go to the ramp and it will show up. Okay. Where's the signal? No circuit. Okay. That's for advanced thing. It's so advanced you can make a calculator for it. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a hangar door. There's the ramp. Down to devices, maybe? Lock code? No. Cancel. Where it says open close, top center. Yeah. Ah, here we go. So under so it's probably follow, right? Okay. This is interesting. So follow is probably if something is within that sphere that use. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, it's under follow. Okay. And then we just keep that there. Okay, that uses it. Okay. Okay. So open door, follow, maybe open close, follow. Now usually with lights and doors and shutters you don't need more than that. With ramps, if ramps do not do the opposite, you right click I to invert the effect. Okay. So, there we go. Nice. There we go. Okay, that's cool. Okay, then we just need to repeat the process with these other ones too. That's pretty sweet. We just do this so that they all do the same thing all together. Nice. Sweet. Thank you for the help. Okay then. So we got a ramp that will extend when we get near it. If you think about it, shutters are actually closed and shutters are actually open. That's true. There we go. Nice. And then it closes when we're not near it. So we'll go sit there, approach this. The hangar door will open. It will get down. We'll leave the craft. And then as soon as we get away, it all closes. Nice. You can also tell the door to follow the same exact logic. Okay. This, hangar door, follow, invert. Okay. That one, though, has to be that way. Nice. Okay. Okay. With this, we could do so many cool things with. I could go completely ham. We could go completely ham with that kind of logic, especially with our space station. We could have hangar doors. We could have like indoor docking. We could have indoor docking, or at least like spots where. But there's so many automatic things we could make with that kind of setup. Because many of the doors are already automatic. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Much more exploration is gonna have to be done. But tomorrow we're gonna have to try and make ourselves a mining ship with the HV. and making sure that we don't make it too large to where we can't get onto the ship. Okay. Okay. And due to how we made our last mining vessel, I'm thinking we're probably not going to need the overpowered thrusters in the back this time. We just need this thing to be able to get to and from where we need it to go. Okay, we need a turret. Yeah, let's make a turret. Let's make a turret real quick. Yeah, let's see here. Turret. Minigun turret. Perfect. And 2 of these. Because we're gonna have to get out of here pretty soon. I gotta go work. We'll just do a couple of last minute things before we call it a day. Yeah, we've got a bunch of really cool things we can do here. Iron steel, which is awesome. And we'll just kind of let that go for a little while, so we don't have to hear it constructing, the sound of it constructing. That's something that they need to add. They need to add more options, more audio options, so we can turn down certain actions, because we don't need to hear that blasting in our ears. There we go. Grab ourselves a little bit of oxygen. Okay, this minigun, yep. Okay. This minigun's gonna be probably posted right back here. Yeah. Rotate. There we go. There's one minigun. Then we'll have the 2 smaller guns posted in front. Nearly completed. This thing shoots rifle ammunition. So for smaller creatures, that is more than enough. In fact, I might even put it on the side right here. It might be fine. We have this angled slope, so more worried about like blind spots. And we'll have to go through and like make the landing pad, we'll have to go through and make the landing pad lit up so that even when it's dark out, when we go landing on a planet that's dark, we can actually see it, stuff like that. Things like lights and all that stuff. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for hanging out with me while I learned even more about this game. We're getting better at this game. This is getting pretty. This game is getting pretty sweet and pretty complex, and I'm loving it. But tomorrow we're going to be working on getting that mining ship made. So we need to get the mining vessel made, so that we can go and start gathering large amounts of supplies, so that we can start getting back into making progress on the space station. Because the space station's still got a ways to go. I mean, this thing is going to be 250 blocks tall. So with observation decks on either side of this giant pillar that we're making in the center, then we gotta we have to extend the farms. We still have to extend the farms. Which means we're gonna, in order to save us a little bit of construction, we're gonna go to the abandoned farm and other locations to gather all the farm plots from there, so that we don't have to build them. We can just add them to the space station as needed. I'm also gonna have to add a whole bunch more solar, more solar batteries onto this thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to add more solar batteries onto this thing. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for hanging out. If you're new here, I play a lot of survival games. We're kind of hooked on this game for a while. So if you like, anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm rambling now. I don't want to go work, but I have to. So I'll see you later. Bye.